Hello, everyone. Right now, we have with us Jeevesh Kumar Singh, part of the Voice of the Young series. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Jeevesh.
Hello, sir. Thank you for providing me this great opportunity. Myself, Jeevesh Kumar Singh, currently pursuing my MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Bodh Gaya. I've prepared for civil services examination. I am an architect by profession. I've completed my architecture from Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Ranchi in year 2020. And I'm someone who is very much interested in public policy and the domain of public policy. And due to this interest in the domain of public policy, I have recently created a club in IIM Bodh Gaya as well, named Kautilya, the Public Policy Club of IIM Bodh. So that was a small, brief introduction of me from my side. That's all, sir.
Okay. Uh, Tell us about yourself. How did you decide to choose to be an architect, and then what happened after that? These are the decisions which you have made with some constraints, I'm sure. But let's listen to you talk about them.
So, sir, I like drawing and I like planning a lot. So, right from as in when I was in class 8, 9, I used to draw my city as in how it will look in future, how it should be planned. I come from a tier 3 city. It's in the state of Jharkhand. The town name is Ramgarh. So, it's not very well planned, not very well organized. So, when I used to visit other towns, I just came into my mind to start planning my own city to make it more do some kind of beautification, and that actually created or inculcated that thing into my mind to go and pursue architecture. So I pursued architecture for a while. I pursued architecture. I even practiced architecture for a while. Then I realized that it is not in the hands of the urban planners or the architects to actually beautify Indian cities, to actually change the nature of Indian cities. It is in the hands of the bureaucrats. So I thought of preparing for civil services examination. I prepared for civil services examination and I wrote civil services mains examination in 2023. But unfortunately, I was not able to clear the paper. And since I was aging, I thought of pursuing some alternative career. So I started pursuing MBA. I wrote CAT. I got selected for an IIM, and currently I am in the second year. As in, I've just completed my first year, and I'm going into my second year of MBA program in IIM Bodh.
So, how is this working out for you?
Till now, it's working pretty well, sir. As in, academically also, from non-academic extra co-curricular perspective also, I am part of a committee and two clubs. I have founded one club, as I mentioned initially, that I have founded the Public Policy Club to actually expose the students of IIM Bodh Gaya about how these schools can actually contribute to the domain of public policy and how new policy leaders can rise from these schools. So we are working on with that idea as well.
But B schools, aren't they about corporate jobs?
So with government adopting neoliberal policy and with this idea of public-private partnership, PPP coming into being, I don't think that these schools are only restricted up to providing as in corporate jobs and all. Even if we are going into corporate, we are becoming corporate leader, we should have this idea of serving the greater goal back in mind. And I think public policy is something that actually exposes us with what our greater goals should be.
Okay. All right. So you think you can ride both horses at the same time? Sort of a financial business background and social impact. Is that some sort of idea for you, or just tell us about it?
I'm trying to create an amalgamation of both, better to say, not to ride two different horses at the same time,
Okay.
but rather creating a bridge between the two parts of the river. So, as in order to join them, some kind of Madhya Marg, as my institute is located in Bodh Gaya, land of Buddha.
Yeah.
So he also preached about Madhya Marga, the middle path.
Yeah.
So I think this is also a kind of madhya marga on which I'm walking right of now.
Okay, so have you made the plans as an architect would for this Madhya Mark? Is there some planning for it, or it's still an idea in your mind?
I I do have some plans, and we are working on it. So, in order to, as in, get some industrial exposure, we are calling some of the companies, some professionals to our college. We are uh, as in this is in process. We are reaching out to them to come to our institution. Uh, it can be digital address or physical as well, whatever suits the professional and the academicians.
Hmm.
And then we'll introduce the students about the concept and how they can work, how they can actually build a career in public policy, considering that they are coming out from a B school, and what are the avenues, how they can, as in, work on those paths. So yeah, we have a plan, but still this project is very at a very nascent stage.
Okay,
So a lot of people are working with it.
okay, but let's talk about the club. The club, when did you set up this club at IIMBG?
So, sir, the club got established right now only in the month of February itself. We
Okay,
got the final approval from the authorities that
okay.
you guys can set up this club. And for getting that approval, we conducted an event. So, this event was about introducing the domain of public policy to the school students. So, we invited school students of Gaya from premier schools, which were the students from DPS and other schools of Gaya, and they were given case study. And along with that case study, a session was also conducted by our prominent eminent professors. They briefed them about the domain of public policy, system thinking, and then the whole event we concluded with that. So once the event concluded, the institution was happy that we concluded an event in a very well structured manner, and event was a great event. So they approved the formation of this.
Okay, but it's sort of coming at the end of your stay there, right? You have only a few months left at I.
I've just completed my first year, sir. I have one more year to
Oh, you have one more year.
contribute. So
Okay,
I'll be,
all
yeah,
right.
I have one more year to contribute.
Okay, you have one
Yes,
more
sir.
year. All right. Okay. All right. How is the campus? Is this new? When was it set up? I'm not aware. So tell us about it.
So the campus is new. Our institution was given the official mandate for getting established in 2014. The institution is running since 2015, and our campus was inaugurated a year ago. So it's a new campus. It's a very beautiful campus, and
Yeah.
you can observe a golden sky from our campus due to the scenic beauty. It's very beautiful, and the campus is very near to the Mahabodhi temple itself. So
Hmm.
it's a kind of blend between modernity and spirituality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And where do the students come from?
The cohort is cosmopolitan in nature. So students are coming from Maharashtra, students are coming from Odisha, everywhere. Even there is an international exchange program going on. So some students are also coming from other countries as well. Recently, few talent students were there in our campus. They were taking the MBA classes. So yeah, students are coming from a lot of places.
Okay. So is this a change for you from your architecture days, or how's it for you?
Sorry, it's a completely different thing. It's a completely different domain. The
Okay.
way they think, the way we were thinking when we were learning architecture was more creative. This is more dominated by case studies and all. Architecture was more creative. They provided uh, ample amount of space to dwell into the realm of creativity, to go and think about an utopian world. This is more pragmatic in nature, brutal and pragmatic.
Can so the students, past students must have got jobs. Do you think they go mainly to policy, think tanks, corporate? Where do they go in general?
So the placement is mixed. So placement is pretty good, and it is a mixed kind of placement. So students are going to multiple domains. There are few specializations that are being offered, like marketing, finance, operations, human resources, IT. So whatever specialization the student is opting for, Apart from that, their previous academic background also influences their placement. So
Hmm.
yes, it is a kind of a mixture of all those that help the student
Hmm.
to get placed, and they are getting placed in multiple different domains.
Okay. All right, good. We've learned quite a bit about your professional side. Anything to share on the personal side? What do
Uh,
you like to do? What's your hobby? Travel? What's going on in your life apart from being a student or working?
Sir, I like to walk at least 10 kilometers because my Apple device says that you at least should walk 10 kilometers. So I try to manage to walk 10 kilometers every day. As in, this is something that I do for keeping myself fit. Apart from that, I like reading books. So most recently, I was
By the way, how
reading.
long does it take you to walk 10 kilometers?
Sir, as in this is not fixed. So I try to my watch consistently monitors it. So by the time the clock ticks at 6, I do just check it how much still is left to complete that, and then I start working. So our campus is big. I get enough amount of time to walk and complete this 10 kilometers walk
Oh,
every
but
day.
in hours is what is it? What, 4 hours, 3 hours? How many hours?
Sir, it takes around 20 minutes for me to walk around 1.5 kilometers.
Okay, yeah. So 10 kilometers is 6 hours.
Kind of, as in, but this walk is more listening to beautiful music and walking slowly.
Ah,
And when I walk fast, when I'm missing my classes and all, so that time I walk a bit faster. So yeah, but my target is to achieve that.
okay. So what kind of music?
So mostly I like, as in this, my genre, my taste of music is very mixed kind of thing. It's not something that I am stick to one. I can listen to classical music at the same time. I like for a very long period of time I was consistently listening to Bhim Palasi,
Hmm.
Rag Bhim Palasi, Ja Ja Re Apne,
Hmm.
Mandir Vaja. Then randomly I switched to this song of the very famous song of Michael Jackson. They don't care about us.
Uh-huh.
So I this is kind of a mixed genre that I follow. So I don't have any fixed genre or taste of music. I can
Okay.
listen to any music which gives me that mental pleasure. So I go for it.
Okay. And what about food? Is that also mixed like this, or you're
I'm, I'm a very big foodie. Sir. I'm a very big foodie. Although for my spiritual reasons, for last 2 3 years, I've been strictly following the vegetarian diet. But I've been a non-vegetarian also. Now I'm a full-time vegetarian, and I like eating malai kulcha. Sorry, tandoori roti or rumali roti with soya chap. That's my favorite. Rumali roti with soya chap is my favorite.
okay? So it's not local cuisine. It's not from
No, it's
your
not
area.
local. Then
No,
for
it's not.
local, for my area, I'm native of Bihar, so we eat this makoni. So it's basically stuffed roti, stuffed with sattu.
Yeah.
So we eat that makoni with ghee, makoni, and pyaj. So that is again my favorite thing. But since it's limited to my region of Bihar only, so that is something I can't eat everywhere.
Yeah.
So as a replacement to that, one more alternative is rajma chawal. So I like eating rajma chawal a lot.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Wonderful. But these days you eat in the hostel, right? You don't cook here now. This is all hostel food.
No, no, sir. These days we have to eat hostel food.
Hostel food. Okay. And what about travel? Any travel?
Sir, I've traveled to multiple places in this country and I like traveling. But due to my commitment towards civil services, in
Yeah.
last few years, I've traveled very limited.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had this opportunity to travel to Varanasi. So I traveled to Varanasi last year and it was beautiful and the whole journey was blessed.
Do you have, you are quite a senior person among the young, as so to speak, because you have finished your architecture, you had 2 or 3 years of work experience. Any tips for young people?
Sir, as in, uh, keep hustling, keep fighting. That's all, and just don't overthink. That's all.
No, but
Nothing else.
talk, I'd say you are talking to class 11 and 12 students. So they don't know what you are saying, hustling. So can you give them some tips?
Yes, sir, there is a very famous thing. A famous quote that I've seen multiple people multiple times repeating, and I believe it is true to some extent. That never destroy good in search of item. So even if you have something, preserve it. Understand the beauty of what you have. Increase your effort, but never destroy the good in search of item. So a lot of students are taking wrong path. They are committing some kind of antisocial uh, uh, like suicide itself. So they are doing it because they are not this, something. There is a difference between the reality and the ideal world, the utopia they think about, and this difference actually forces them to that cleavage and they commit such kind of action or activity, which is wrong. So it is good to embrace the beauty of the world that the creator has created. The world is very beautiful.
Mhm.
Especially architecture has taught me that the creator has followed this golden ratio. So whatever beautiful you look around has this golden ratio in its core. So if the creator has created this universe with this amount of preciseness, you should watch it, embrace it, enjoy the beauty of the life. That is much more important than uh, as in wasting your life for creating an so-called ideal world. That's all.
So tell us about this golden ratio. Where do you see it all the time?
Every beautiful thing is golden ratio, sir, right? From human body to everything, our ratio of our limbs to our shoulder, everything is golden ratio. Even a perfect face, which this cosmetic industry and the modeling and fashion design industry, they say that the perfect faces are also into golden ratio. Even leaves are in golden ratio. So everything which is looking beautiful, the waves in the oceans are also sometimes in golden ratio. So yeah, everything is in golden ratio.
Okay, so what do they teach about this in architecture to make buildings with the golden ratio? Or I'm at a loss, so I'm asking you.
Sir, as in golden ratio is something we can use for creating the ratio between windows and the whole front facade as well, or door, or some element in the door as well. It can be used anywhere. There is no such restriction of application to golden ratio. The core philosophy behind the application or employment of golden ratio is that it is a proven fact that when you use this ratio to justify any design or any element, when you create or construct any design or any element with use of this golden ratio, it amplifies and beautifies that overall appearance. So this is why we say that golden ratio, and it is a proven fact. A lot of things on Earth are in the same ratio. So yeah, that is why we sometimes over exaggerate this thing. Kind of romanticization of golden ratio happens in design and architecture.
Okay. What about this green architecture? Did you ever get involved in it?
No, sir, I haven't practiced green architecture
No, but did they
because
teach you
this is
about it
again,
or?
yeah, green architecture as in sustainable architecture you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Biomimicking and all that is, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
You
sir.
tell
This
me.
this was part of our academic.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. This was something part of our academic curriculum. So they taught us about sustainable design, use of materials, and all. And there is a very famous, actually, a professor came to our university to address a seminar, and he narrated a story of uh, an architect who met Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. And Gandhiji just said him one thing: whatever you are constructing, try to use only materials which are available in 5 kilometers of radius. Don't go beyond it. So at that time, this architect was, as in, he was making fun of this idea of Gandhiji. How come this man who knows nothing about architecture is teaching us? The same architect, after 30, 40, 50 years of his lifetime, realized the importance of what Gandhiji was saying. And the architect was Laurie Baker. He is
Mm,
poor man's architect. He's a very famous architect from Kerala. Now he's no more. But
yeah.
this is that person told us that this is the realization of law. And when Laurie Baker realized this thing, Sir Laurie Baker, when he realized this thing, what actually the what gravity of that whole idea which Mahatma Gandhi was talking about. So yeah, so we have been taught about using materials that are vernacular, using materials which are available to that particular area, not going for this concretization, because now even architects are realizing that over concretization is not a good thing. It is destroying the nature, and it is also not very thermally comfortable thing. So yeah, we have been taught. Then we have been taught about biomimicking as well. So biomimicking is basically when we copy something that nature has created in architectural design, like bee hubs. So bees create their colonies and hubs very beautifully, symmetrical hexagonal designs. So we do copy them when we create buildings. So this is also part of sustainable architectural design.
Okay. It sounds like, it's very interesting, but in the end, it didn't grab you enough and you moved beyond it because you felt it was too technical and it wasn't going to really bring the change. I take it.
Sir, I still want to, and I still practice architecture. Architecture is a professional thing. But yeah, my quest was something else, so I moved beyond.
Okay. All right. Good. We seem to be coming to an end. You have something else you want to add here?
Actually, since you are very renowned public policy practitioner and academician, I have few queries I want to ask regarding the domain of public policy in India. What
Okay.
is your opinion about the civil services in India? Because my father is a retired civil servant, and I always have this conflict with them whenever I have this conversation. We don't come to a conclusion. Never it happens that we come to a conclusion. So I want to know about your opinion about
Okay, but
civil
first
services
let's
in India.
let's first hear what your points are with your father, and then I can jump in.
So I believe that rather than recruiting a 21-year-old person to become an IS or IPS officer, we should be recruiting some matured persons who are into the age group of 25 or 26 with some kind of exposure towards real life, as in some practical exposure, some work experience. So uh, that will actually help us to get multiple and holistic viewpoints. As in, if some person is practicing architecture and then he is coming to civil services, he will understand what are the problems with urban planning. If someone is practicing, let's say, has done B Pharma and M Pharma as a pharmacist after doing 5 6 years of practice in pharmacy, and he's coming to write civil services paper,
Hmm.
then he will understand how generic medicines can be provided, how actually we can eradicate this growing medical poverty, and how to cut down this out of pocket expenditure. Currently, 48% is the out of pocket expenditure. So, if a person is going for medical, as in his some kind of medical issue arises, he has to pay 48% of the money from his pocket. So, that is very, as in, something very hectic. So, that puts a lot of family back into the poverty. So I think, and I believe and firmly believe that if people from different domain having different work experience come are joining civil services, not at the lateral entry stage, but at the initial stage itself, then it will be more useful, more holistic, and it will provide a more as in more it will create a more robust bureaucracy. But what my father believes, he always states this Kothari Commission's report that they have stated back in 1970 and 1960 that people should enter at the early age and all. So this is a point of conflict. He says that if some young people are coming, they are more dynamic, they will be harbinger of change and all. But my point is, if you don't have the idea of what to change, if what you will do with your dynamism.
Yeah, okay. I think let me be very brief because this is not my place to talk. And maybe we have a separate meeting of your club in which I can answer more questions. But
Sure, sir.
Basically, it is an administrative service. It is not a change service. It is an administrative service. That was in Sardar Patel's mind when he said, let's not get rid of the ICS and let's just make it the IAS. And he called it the steel frame. He didn't call it the
Okay.
frame of change. And that has stuck. That it is an I mean, I come from a UPSC family, by the way. I mean, I'm surrounded by UPSC people in my family and my friends. Okay, I'm one of the few who's not. Okay, so but they are administrators at the heart
Okay.
of it. They are administrators. They are not policymakers. They are not change agents. We expect all of this from them. That they should be change makers. They should be policy makers. They should remedy the local situation. But in the end, they don't have the powers really. And occasionally, some people, when they are young, they are collector, they do something dynamic and make change happen. But the change should come from the political and social leaders. That's where the failure is. That the political leaders are totally incapable of helping the people. If they say, look, we have formulated this idea, can you do this? The service will do it. Instead, they don't have any clue as to what's happening in their own area. They
Okay.
don't come up with practical, positive, dynamic solutions to be administered. So,
Okay.
and then when we have this is a separate problem, but it's a very important problem, in my opinion. We have stuck too long with one size fits all policies. So we
Yes.
have a
Yes.
national policy. Okay. And then it goes into every district. But as you know, all districts are different from each other.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
trying to get administered the same national policy, even in the fight against COVID, is very local. But the guidelines are national. And when they are
Yes.
not national, they are statewide. And people on the ground know that even one district is not uniform.
Yes.
So we don't have the ability of okay, one failure is at the panchayat level. It's a constitutional amendment, and panchayats are constitutional bodies. But neither they do anything nor anybody expects anything from them because nobody cares about them. But that's the
Okay.
place where the rural ideas should come from. And the MLAs are, of course, MPs and MLAs. And we have, I guess now the number of districts is more than the number of MPs, Lok Sabha. But they are the ones who need, and they have all these MP funds. Okay. What do they do with the MP funds? They subsidize whatever they want to subsidize. Where's the thinking? Where's the analysis that is local? Where is the tweaking that is local? And they don't do any of it. None. Very little. And the MLAs, the less said about them, the better. So where are they? They are just, you know, they vote in the Vidhan Sabha, whatever the chief minister says, this is the bill, they vote. Okay. You think there's any discussion or debate worth the name in the Vidhan Sabha? No. I can't see any Vidhan Sabha where people are coming up with ideas and proposals. We never read them. They
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
rubber stamp. So the failure over there is showing up as the failure of the civil service. But the civil
Okay.
service was never, I mean, the administrative service was never, I mean, they had a little bit more power in the old days. Okay. But the politicians have slowly, and by slowly, I mean since Indira Gandhi's time, taken the power away from the civil service. Indira Gandhi
Okay.
was opposed by several civil servants, but she told them, look, those days are over. I'm the boss. You got to do what I say. Okay.
Okay.
So, there was a very famous case of one powerful civil servant saying we shouldn't nationalize banks. When Indira Gandhi said long ago we should nationalize banks, he says, no, it's not a good idea. And she says, listen, I need the draft of the bill by tomorrow. Whatever are your views, I need the draft of the bill by tomorrow. Get to it. Get me the draft. Okay. So whether they
Got it.
liked it or not, it was clear that you have to do what the politicians say. And what we call as interference by the politicians, it's a huge amount. So whatever be the age, it hardly makes any difference. Even a 26-year-old or 27-year-old full of ideas, they may be able to get away with something in some state, in some time, but sooner or later they have to administer the system.
Okay.
I mean, I recently had a very senior civil servant in a Vidped. His name is Subhash Garg. I've not yet posted his Vidped. But in the end, what he said was that he was the union secretary in the finance ministry for economic affairs. And he couldn't get, in the the finance minister, recent appointed at the time, Nirmala Sitharaman, couldn't get along with him. And so she asked the PM to remove him. And he quit rather than not to stay in power. And he's told, he's written a book about it and it's in the Vidped. So what could he do? He quit
Yes.
the IAS. And nowadays he writes books and it's on LinkedIn and is everywhere. But in the end, he couldn't get his ideas. And he also said that he had a 3-hour meeting with the Prime Minister to make some presentation of his ideas. The PM didn't call for the meeting, he called for the meeting. PM agreed
Okay.
to meet him for 3 hours. He made a presentation, this is the kind of idea, this is what we should do, this. And he said nothing happened. So he is a dynamic man, and whether you agree with his ideas or you don't agree with his ideas, I'm not making that point. But he got nowhere with his ideas, and the finance minister just got him out. They said you can have any other job. So he told me, you can have any other job you want in the government. But he said, no, I won't take any other job. Here's my resignation. Effective 3 months. I'm there to give 3 months notice. So effective 3 months. And they gave him some temporary job in the remaining 3 months. But you can't influence the politicians. Only by some, and he did say how he managed to get the Rajasthan chief minister to agree to his idea as opposed to her idea. But that's rare. It's rare. It's very rare. You cannot do anything that the chief minister or the powerful ministers want. You can't go against it. So at the district level also, you cannot do things that the chief minister hasn't approved of, or, ultimately the MLAs and MPs, they get to the power. So it's really where the failing is, I think, is in the Panchayati Raj.
Okay.
And the failing is also in the legislature. They consider themselves as, okay, here is one more law, rubber stamp it, okay. Or they have some fight in the Vidhan Sabha over some matter that means nothing to anybody. So they're fighting, okay. And if you listen to the Lok Sabha debates, so what are they debating about? What,
Mostly they are not debating about something that we are actually paying taxes for. But yeah.
what, are they, what is this debate going on about? What the hell is this? So I say the failure is that side. If you
Okay.
give them dynamic ideas to implement with some authority and some leeway, instead of saying that here is this scheme of district-wise promotion of whatever it is that you are thinking. Okay, self-help group for women. Here's the form, fill it. So whether the form works in this district or doesn't work in it, you have to fill it.
Yes.
So
So
unfortunately, this was reasonable maybe in the 50s, 60s, 70s, but today we are not in that situation at all.
So we can say that to some extent our civil societies are not capable or good enough, or they have failed to create politicians from the base of, as in from the youth, who are more responsible, most as in more empathetic towards the needs of the masses. I think this is the failure of our civil society.
It is a failure of our at least elected legislators.
Elected legislatures are representations of society
I know.
itself.
I'm saying, look, they are we get the government that we vote for, and the governments that we vote for are not really, you know. Okay, anyway, this is, I think, it's not a forum here for me to talk. We can have a club meeting and we can talk about these things.
Sure, sir. So,
Okay.
sir, I would like to invite you on behalf of my club as
So
well for a
yeah, okay,
meeting.
we will fix the details later,
Sure,
separate offline. But let us
sure.
say that just to conclude, I always ask the speaker to have the final word. Let's have the final word from you.
Sir, it was really like changing moment for me to come and talk to a person who I've been following for long. And I've also been part of ISPP, Indian School of Public Policy. I'm part of their Lok Niti program, and I've been informed that you go and teach students over there as well, in ISPP, Indian School of Public Policy. So I would like to take your class as well sometime, somewhere, someday. And thank you for your time, sir. And this session was really good. It was something very calm, relaxation, and it was really nice talking to you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
for your time.
All right. Thank you, Jeevesh. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon, but don't go away. We'll talk offline.